Hi there, thanks for joining us here for THV 11 News at Noon. Hope your Tuesday's off to a great start. I'm Michael Aaron here with meteorologist Nathan Scott. Nathan,
lots of sun.
I was going to say it's shaping up to be a pretty nice day.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice Tuesday around the region. Enjoy the sunshine, Michael, because changes do arrive starting later tomorrow. We're going to fast forward here because we're looking at, of course, what's going to be happening for the Thanksgiving holiday. We have a cold front that'll be marching its way in our direction as early as Wednesday night. So we're dry for today, dry tomorrow, but then Wednesday evening, that's when the chance of showers and storms will be going up. Not expecting any severe weather. There could be some pockets of downpours, and there you see around 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I think most of the activity will start to exit the region throughout Thanksgiving morning. I'll have more details on that coming up a little bit later. This morning, though, we start off on the chilly side. 30 was the number in Russellville, 27 in Searcy, 27 in Arkadelphia. It dropped down to 33 at Little Rock Airport. And now we've seen a nice recovery from those chilly temperatures. We're into the mid to upper 50s across the region, lower 60s down to the south and southwest. Highs today, many locations will top out into the low 60s, probably some mid 60s in southwest Arkansas. 50s for you folks off to the north and northeast. I'll have more on what we can expect for your Thanksgiving holiday and also the weekend forecast coming up.
Nathan, thank you. President Joe Biden is expected to hit the road today to spend Thanksgiving with friends and family, and he's not alone. But for millions of Americans, the holiday vacation will cost a lot more. Skylar Henry is at the White House with the steps the president has taken to make gas prices a little cheaper.
President Biden announced the release of 50 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve in order to lower gas prices for Americans.
We're just trying to curb spending in other areas so that we can afford to fill up our tank.
The move comes ahead of the holidays, where more than 53 million Americans are expected to hit the road. Nationally, gas prices averaged $3.40 a gallon. That's $1.30 more than what people were paying a year ago. The high prices are hitting drivers in their wallets and the president in the polls.
I have a feeling it has to do with Biden, to be honest.
Nearly a dozen congressional Democrats sent a letter to the president asking him to release the oil reserves and ban the export of U.S. oil in order to drive down prices. Critics say the White House has helped drive up oil prices by cutting domestic production.
President Biden canceled our own Keystone XL pipeline, but cleared the path for a new pipeline for Vladimir Putin. The amount of Russian oil that America has to import has already nearly doubled on the Democratic's watch.
The U.S. is working with China, India, Japan, South Korea, and the U.K. in releasing oil reserves to drive down prices around the globe. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
White House officials would only say all options are on the table when asked if they would ban the export of U.S. oil in order to increase the domestic supply. The high price of gas is not enough to stop millions of Americans from visiting family for Thanksgiving. The holiday is also a major test for airlines. Many of them are thrilled to see the increasing number of holiday travelers this year, but some have struggled to get their footing during the resurgence of air travel during the pandemic era.
Last year wasn't pretty. It was a dramatic change for us. But one thing about we didn't fold. We didn't give up. We didn't call it quits.
Delta says they had more than 4,000 flights system-wide on Monday and are almost at pre-pandemic levels. The man suspected of driving his SUV through a holiday parade in Wisconsin, killing 5 people and injuring dozens more, is due in court later today. Police say this is not the first time Garth Brooks is accused of running someone over with his vehicle. Nancy Chin is in Waukesha with the latest on the investigation and the victims, which include more than a dozen kids.
Minutes before this horrific scene unfolded at the Waukesha annual holiday parade, police say the driver of that red SUV, Garth Brooks, left the scene of a domestic dispute. They say he wasn't being chased when he drove into the parade.
We actually had a squad and barricades up, and he drove right through. When an officer tried to engage and stop the threat, he still continued through the crowd.
Brooks has a long criminal history. He's been charged with crimes 16 times since 1999. Last year, he was charged with 3 felony gun counts. Most recently, the 39-year-old was accused of running over his child's mother with the same red SUV at a gas station. He posted a $1,000 bail earlier this month. Monday, the Milwaukee County DA called the bail inappropriately low and launched a review into the decision.
It was like a war zone.
Iraqi war veteran Ryan Conkey was at Sunday's parade to watch his niece, Jesselyn Torres, perform. He says the 11-year-old suffered a broken pelvis, internal bleeding, and lost a kidney, but remains hopeful.
I did speak with Jesselyn this morning. She said, "Tell them to glue me back together."
Among the 5 people killed, members of the Milwaukee Dancing Grannies. 48 people were hurt, including more than a dozen children. Nancy Chen, CBS News, Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Police say they're confident Brooks acted alone and it was not a case of domestic terrorism. A Georgia jury is now deliberating the fates of the three men charged with killing Ahmaud Arbery. Travis McMichael, his father Gregory, and William Roddy Bryan could face life in prison if convicted. Prosecutors tried to paint the 3 defendants as the aggressors chasing down Arbery because he was a black man running down the street. The defense team argued things escalated while the men were simply attempting to make a citizen's arrest of someone they thought was a burglar. Once there's a verdict, we'll let you know on thv-at-noon.com and the THV11 app. Governor Asa Hutchinson is expected to push more people to get vaccinated ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday, that coming during his weekly COVID-19 update later this afternoon. Let's look at the numbers now. The state reported the biggest jump in hospitalizations that we have seen in several weeks. Right now, 333 Arkansans are fighting the virus from a hospital. That is 19 more than Sunday's total. But there's some positive news to report. Our active cases are starting to go back down. 5,900 people are dealing with COVID-19 in Arkansas. That's 356 fewer than what we saw at the end of the weekend. 270 new cases of the virus were reported on Monday, and 5 deaths were added to the state's total. The governor's COVID-19 update is set for 1:30. You can watch that on thv11.com, and on the THV11 YouTube channel. We'll have a wrap-up tonight for you at 5 and 6. The state's ban on mask mandates will remain on hold for another few weeks, while attorneys for the state, 2 school districts, and dozens of parents work on their final arguments. Yesterday, Pulaski County Judge Tim Fox, who temporarily blocked the law back in August, heard from witnesses about masks in schools. After more than 8 hours, both sides finished making their case. But Judge Fox is asking attorneys to return to court on December 10th, when he's expected to make a final decision on the ban. Thousands of families are already in the kitchen getting things ready for Thanksgiving Day. Unfortunately, there are many out there who need help. There are organizations here at home offering that assistance. The Helping Hand of Greater Little Rock received 50 turkeys from local businesses. They were able to make more than 300 Thanksgiving boxes to hand out. Other groups are also lending a hand. If you want to learn more about places offering help, we have that information online at thv11.com. You can also text the word Thanksgiving to 501-376-1111. We'll send you that info straight to your phone. What do the Hogs and Garth Brooks have in common? They're both playing at Razorback Stadium in 2022. That's right, the country music superstar will make Arkansas history when he becomes the first act to perform at the stadium in the spring. The show is set for April 23rd. Tickets go on sale next Friday, December 3rd at 10 a.m. And listen up here, this is important because there are only 3 ways to buy your tickets. You can get them at Ticketmaster.com, by calling Ticketmaster's Garth Brooks line, or by using the Ticketmaster app. And you better believe people are thrilled for Brooks' return to the natural state. Even Governor Asa Hutchinson can't contain his excitement, tweeting, "We can't wait for April 23rd for an historic show at Razorback Stadium." Again, this will be the first time in 7 years Brooks has played in Arkansas. No one wants drama at the Thanksgiving dinner table, but it can be hard to avoid the touchy subjects during the holidays. We have a few ways to make your meals less stressful coming up right here at 12:16. But first, Nathan's forecast.
Look at all the blue sky out there on our Tuesday afternoon. We're going to hang on to plenty of sun, but showers and storms will be arriving tomorrow night and to start off your Thanksgiving holiday. I'll let you know how long they stick around and what you can expect for the rest of the holiday weekend next.